Audio test complete.
Okay. It is currently Monday, 11 o'clock in the morning. And my flight was canceled this morning because of weather. I work later today at 2:30. So I have time. And we are going to fly. As you may have noticed, what happened to Air Malta? Oh no. Well, we officially got hired under Frontier on a new contract. So I'm pretty stoked about that. Oops. Yeah, we got hired today. I got rejected by all the other companies, Spirit, Allegiant, American, and Delta. I kind of figured American and Delta was going to reject me, but I wasn't anticipating Spirit or Allegiant. But Frontier accepted us, and we got a huge pay bonus, $42 an hour, compared to the 25 we were getting at Air Malta. So that's a big pay jump right there. And yeah, my contract's pretty good. Full time, obviously. And what was I gonna say? Yeah, we have a bunch of opportunities to fly now with Frontier. We're not really restricted to just like the southern coast of Italy. Where do I get my information from here? I want to pull up my company information. Well, let me look at my resume here. Cool. So we did 7 flights with Air Malta. Now we're gonna start with Frontier, and yeah, there's more airplanes that we can fly. The A321, A320. I think they may have A319s. I'm not too sure. Yeah, here's all the routes that Frontier does. It's gonna be so many more opportunities to fly. Yeah, should be fun. Right now we have a schedule here on the West Coast. I'll show you guys. So we got Las Vegas to Ontario and then back, and then Phoenix to Dallas and then back, and then Miami to Baltimore and then back, Phoenix to Denver, and then Philadelphia to Tampa and then back. So quite a bit of flying around with Frontier. We'll be jumping around, but today we'll do just the short hop of an hour and 4 minutes down to Ontario, and call it a day, because then I have to go to work later. Real life. Alright, we don't have much time, so let's go ahead and start getting the aircraft ready. We are departing here in the next 30 minutes, so let's start setting up. That's the cue for first officer to get going. Let's start setting up.
Roger.
There we go. The only downside with flying back in America is that the lag is going to be quite bad. It's a major difference from Rome and Malta. That's the thing. But it should be alright. We'll be okay. We've done it before. Alright, let's go ahead and get the aircraft loaded. Not taking many passengers, 112 today. And we'll be arriving around 9:55 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, which will be around, let's see, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 12:55. We'll climb up to around 20,000 feet. 120, oh, this is different. Reset. There we go. Hopefully it stays the right way. Let me reload this. I'm not too sure if it's reading the right flight. Okay. Hopefully it loads up the right amount, but we got 125 packs, block fuel 13,168. Very short flight, an hour, total block time 38 minutes en route, so pretty much we'll climb up and then start our descent. Cost index is 9. We'll come out of the Rady 2 departure, and then we'll transition directly to Fela and then the Jackie 2 arrival. Take a look at NOTAMs. Runway 08 left, Pappy's unserviceable. Okay. SID. Nothing on the SIDs there. And then coming into Ontario, I don't see anything. Runway 26 left, Alsef 2 is now short approach. Lighting system, okay. Okay. Alright, and then departure forecast got 210 at 12, gusting 26. Pretty strong winds. And then 10 statute miles, few clouds 25,000, altimeter 2974. Back to inches in mercury. Kind of low pressure today. Fuel outer tank, high temp, galley, cabin off. What the heck? Is that some sort of bug? I mean, it shouldn't be. It's 26 degrees outside, so it is quite warm. We'll let it do its thing here. So right now it's reading this is 6.63 degrees Celsius, and then this is reading negative 182. That has to be some sort of bug. I'm gonna wait for it to stop refueling and see what happens. Maybe it's some sort of bug going on. Alright. $2.74, and then destination forecast. We're looking at getting there around 16:55. Which weather's looking pretty good for that. So let's go up here. Bada bing, bada boom. Why is strobe light on? Cool. It looks like they're done refueling, so let's see what is happening now. What the heck, dude? Alright. Left outer tank high temperature. Galley cab off. Delay takeoff. What? Is it because of the temperature outside? This looks like a bug to me, to be honest. Did it load up the right fuel? 13,168, yeah. What's the air conditioning at. It's cooler. But I'm concerned here. What if I reset my panel state? Did not fix anything. Okay. Alright, we will continue because I don't know what the deal is with that. I think it's some sort of bug going on, and we'll just kind of ignore it for right now. It's going to come up as a recall though. Fuel left outer tank high temp. I'm going to look it up real quick. Yeah, I'm reading online. This is, if you notice, this is saying 5 point blah 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 E negative 182. That means this thing is like a million times hotter than the sun right now. So this is obviously some sort of bug. How do I fix it though? Turn on the AC, it'll be fine. Okay. Alright, we're gonna bypass this and we'll see if it works. We're gonna have to automatically set the fuel in there. Alright, let's continue. Frontier Flight 2231. Cost index is nine. Cruise altitude is 20,000. Ground temperature is 26. Request those winds. We'll come over to flight plan and we'll go over here, departure. Right now they're gonna use 26 right, maybe? Possibly. Makes sense, yeah, that's where we're closest to. So 26 right. And we will do the Rady R2. And we'll come out of the silver transition. Insert. And then we got Rady R2, 26 right. Standard minimum climb of 500 feet per nautical mile. 26 right will climb on heading 259, intercept to go to Rudy. Cells Rudy at or above 4,000 at Rudy, and Rudy at 230 knots. Cross cells at below 8,000, and then at Rudy at 13,000. Then we'll go to Silver. And then Fila. Just leave Silver there, okay. And then in Ontario, looks like we can just do the, I think the ILS 26 left is out of service.
Good morning. Welcome on board.
ILS 26 right, glide path unserviceable. ILS 26 left, radar is required. Okay, we can do 26 left then.
This way. Welcome on board.
So we'll do the ILS 26 left, and we'll do the Jackie to arrival. Transition at Fila, right? Fila, and approach via will be Taco. Okay, that Fila. And then Perrick at or above 24, 280, Larson at about 210, and Engine Boy at or below 210. Jackie at or above 17, Gibney at or above 14, Gray at or above 12, Inho at or above 11, Rumble at 10,240, and then we'll come down and do what's the routing here? So for 26 left from Hinho to Rumble, then expect, then on 196 degrees on assigned ATC, expect RNAV Zulu or radar vectors to final approach course. Okay. And then from there we go to Taco at 4,300, Yukuk at 3,400, and then Munns at 3,000, glide slope intercept, missed approach to PTZ, to Paradise VOR, and hold there. Cool. Alright. Man, I really hope this issue doesn't, I really hope that doesn't cause an issue on the flight. It should be just fine. It's gonna probably bring out some alarms, but we will just ignore them and defer it. Alright, probably just a temperature sensor gone wrong. Actually, that's a good idea to probably disable it. Let's see if there's a circuit breaker. Cockpit preparation checklist.
Gear pins and covers.
Removed.
Fuel quantity.
We're gonna reset that. Okay, yeah, they're doing weird things here. So let's just go ahead and load it up immediately.
May I see your boarding pass?
I'll just do that then. 13,160 pounds.
Seat belts.
On.
This way.
ADIRS.
Nav.
Barrow ref.
2974 set.
2974. Set. Cockpit preparation checklist completed.
Okay. Takeoff weight should be around 135.8. Sweet, we're at 135.9. That's fine. That's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. Send that to the McDo. 142, 143, 161. Looking good. Excellent. Are you ready for the departure briefing?
Go ahead.
Okay, we're at terminal gate here. We'll expect runway 26 right for departure. We should be able to taxi via Charlie. And pretty simple taxi there. No hotspots along that route. 14,550 feet of runway available for us. We don't need that much today. We're going pretty light. And our V1 speed is 141. For any failure prior to that, we'll take off, pull power to idle, apply the brakes, and abort. Any failure after V1, we'll continue that takeoff. We'll rotate at 142, and then we'll climb out 143. For any issues in the air, we'll look at returning back to Las Vegas. We'll do flaps 1 at 61 degrees on the takeoff temperature. Weather's pretty good. We do got some stronger winds today, about 8 knots on the head and then 2 knots on the cross. However, it is, oh, it looks like it just updated. Actually, no, that's Ontario. My bad. 9 knots on the cross, 8 knots in the head. We got about gusting 26 as well. But other than that, just some stronger winds, lower pressure today, and hot temps, so we can expect a little bit of thermals coming up. Probably some of the mountain waves too. Probably get some bumps from there too. Other than that, pretty routine takeoff. I'll be doing the takeoff and the landing for today. PIC in command, and yeah.
Good morning.
Any questions? Any questions?
No questions.
Cool. I forgot to brief up this departure. Yeah, we're doing the Rady to departure. We'll pretty much fly runway heading and then turn left, follow pick the route to Rady. At cells, we have to be at or below 8,000, so we got to make sure we're not climbing out or above that. We'll just go ahead and just put our altitude constraint at 8,000 there. We don't want to go past that unless we're cleared to by ATC. And then it's pretty much standard climb. Cool.
Good morning.
Init data is good. That's good. Fuel prediction is looking good. Make sure zero fuel weight 223.2 is right. Sweet. Takeoff weight 136. Let's go ahead and start the APU because I think they're about to be done.
This way. This way.
They get rid of all the packs? No, they didn't. Yeah, we gotta talk to ATC. I forgot. Man. Okay. Let's go ahead and get the ATIS and we'll go ahead and contact them.
Hello.
132.4.
Hello.
0 and 12, gust 26, visibility 10, good clouds 25,000, temperature 26, dew point -03, altimeter 2974, VFR condition, landing runway 19 right, departing runway 19 left, as Viper condition contact you have information Victor.
Good morning.
FC Karen Airport information.
Go ahead and request our IFR clearance.
Frontier Flight 2231. Request departure runway change.
Frontier Flight 2231. Enable runway change at this time. Southwest 1760. Ready to taxi to
I might get runway 19 left here. Be a long taxi.
Southwest 1760. Runway 19 left taxi
Yep.
via Bravo 6.
We're definitely gonna get that. So let's go ahead and plan for that.
Left taxi via Bravo 6. Delta Lima Southwest 1760.
Frontier Flight 2231. On our way to Ontario.
Frontier Flight 2231. Las Vegas ground. Cleared to Ontario Airport. Raider 2 departure with the SLVR transition, then is filed. Climb via SID. Departure frequency 133.905. Squawk tree 060.
Cleared to Ontario Airport. Raider 2 departure with the SLR transition, then is filed. Climb via
Will
SID.
be at or below
Departure frequency
7,000.
133.905. Squawk 3060. Frontier Flight 2231.
Frontier Flight 2231. Read that correct. Call me back when ready for pushback or engine start.
Wilco, Frontier Flight 2231.
Cool. Runway 19 left now. Still standard. Pretty much will fly straight out, and then at Daru at or below 7,000. So, other than that, we should be good. And ladies and gentlemen from the flight deck, we'd like to welcome you aboard today's flight, Frontier Flight 2231 service to Ontario. We're looking like an on-time departure here. We actually might get out here a little bit early. Just finalizing up some paperwork and getting our clearance from air traffic control. Should be a pretty smooth flight today as we climb up to 20,000 feet today. Winds are coming out from the west, and it is quite warm outside today, so that does mean we could expect a little bit of bumps on the way out. And we can assure you that as soon as it smooths it out, we will go ahead and turn off those seatbelt signs. However, we do ask that when the seatbelt signs are off, that you keep them fastened when you're seated in your seat, as we could expect unexpected bumps. Again, we thank you for flying with us today. Flight attendants, please prepare the cabin for departure. Arm doors, cross-check standby for the all-call. Okay. Excellent. Yeah, it does not like that. Let me see if I can, that's another thing. Let me see if I can disable left tank. Yeah, it's gonna be annoying. Let me see if I can, if there's some sort of sensor I can disable here. Here we go. Fuel, pumps, center tank, middle tank, pump supply, cross V valve, LP valve.
Hold short runway 19 left, southwest 2226.
It's not really an option to do that.
Southwest 1760. Contact Las Vegas Tower 118.75. Contact Tower 118.75. Southwest 1760.
that corresponds to that. I get rid of this. Thank you. Okay, we got temperatures. So temperature, no, we don't really care about that. Alright, we're just gonna have to deal with it then. Okay. Go ahead and request our pushback.
Frontier Flight 2231 at Gate Delta 11. Request pushback.
Frontier Flight 2231, Las Vegas ground. Pushback and engine start approved. Face south.
Pushback and engine start approved. Face south. Frontier Flight 2231.
Oh, it's waiting. Oh, it's waiting for the refueling. Okay.
Short runway 19er left. Gate Alpha 10 via
I gotta love it.
Echo Whiskey. Hold short runway 19er left. Spirit Wings 327.
At least we're early.
Southwest 2226. Cross runway 19er left at Whiskey. Continue taxi via Whiskey.
Alright. She said where? Face what? Face south.
Hi, the security and safety check are all done. Are we good to start boarding?
Man, you've been good. We're done. We done with the boarding.
Southwest 1850.
We're good.
Contact Las Vegas Tower 118.75.
Over to Tower 118.75, Southwest 1850, see you.
Southwest 3723. Cross runway 19er
Hello, Captain.
left.
We
There
are
we
ready for
go.
pushback.
Continue taxi via Whiskey. Golf 1.
Cross runway 19er left at Whiskey. Continue taxi via Whiskey, Golf 1, Southwest 3723.
Before start checklist.
United 513.
Parking brake.
Las Vegas Tower
Set and checked.
Completed.
Takeoff speeds and thrust.
Alright. V1, 131, V2, VR 131, V2 133, flaps 1, takeoff temperature 60 degrees. Set and check.
Alaska 629, request
Set and check.
clearance to Seattle to
V1, 1, 3, 1, VR, 1, 3, 1, V2, 1,
sure my
3,
pilot career
3,
thing is working.
flex temp, 6, 0 degrees, windows.
5 departure with the Keno transition, then is filed. Climb via SID.
Verified.
Departure frequency
Closed.
133.905. Squawk 0523.
Closed.
Beacon.
On.
Before start checklist completed.
clear to
Okay.
Seattle Tacoma Airport.
And our first flight with Frontier
Keno transition,
is
then is filed.
about to begin.
Climb via SID. Departure frequency 133.905.
I'm actually kind of happy that Frontier accepted me.
Alaska 629.
I wasn't very hopeful that, because I was hoping Frontier would be the go-to. Let's see, face south. We need to face left. So yeah,
Release parking brakes, please.
I was like, it's either Frontier or Spirit, and I'm kind of glad I got Frontier over Spirit.
Alaska 629 at gate Echo 11. Request
Commencing push.
engine start.
All engines clear. Start at will.
I would have been sad if I got Allegiant though. Allegiant kind of like, I don't know.
327. Cross runway 19er left at
I would have been sad if I gotten that for sure,
via Whiskey.
but I'm happy we got Frontier. Starting engine 2.
19er left at Whiskey.
Okay.
Continue taxi via Whiskey. Golf 1. Spirit Wings 327.
There's more options with the A320 too. We got the A321,
629.
A320,
Vegas ground. Pushback and engine start.
and that's pretty much it.
Face west.
Because they don't really have any other. They got the Neos, but we don't have a Neo.
Approved. Face west. Alaska 629.
And we're back in our home country.
Frontier Flight 3412. Ready to pick up IFR clearance to Cincinnati Northern Kentucky Airport. Flight 3412,
No.
Las Vegas ground, clear to Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky Airport. Digit 2 departure, tuck a transition, then is filed. Climb via SID. Departure frequency 133.905. Squawk 2 tree 5. Clear to Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky Airport.
IDG.
Departure.
Oh no.
Then is filed. Climb via SID. Departure frequency 1.
This is clearly a bug. But the question is if the engine is going to continue. Oh man.
Frontier Flight 3412.
Please set parking brakes.
Call me back when ready for pushback or engine.
Brake set.
Unlocking gear.
Roger that. Frontier Flight 3412.
Is my Phoenix running alright? Is it? It is running.
Frontier Flight 3412. Gate Delta 21. Request pushback and engine.
Starting
start.
engine 1.
Okay.
Let's see. Is there any failures
Flight
on
3412. Las Vegas
activated
ground.
at the moment?
Pushback approved.
No.
Face south. Pushback
No, I
and
think
engine
it's
start
fine.
approved. Face south. Frontier Flight 3412.
Like, look at that. IDG-1 oil overheat.
Clearance to Metropolitan Oakland Airport.
You're telling me that the oil,
Southwest 50.
like the generators aren't coming online.
Disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
Joker 5 departure with the Keno
Oh my
transition.
gosh.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
I might have to restart the sim.
Tree 3.905. Squawk tree 206.
Let me see here. Check the, this is engine. It should be on their electrical stuff.
Then is filed. Climb via SID. Departure frequency 133.905.
IDG. What happens if I disconnect it?
Southwest 508.
I can't disconnect the circuit breaker.
Southwest 508. Read that correct. Call me back when ready for pushback or engine start.
Okay.
Wilco, Southwest 508.
I'm trying to think here. How can I reset this without doing all of that all over again? I'm thinking about maybe quitting this the sim, and then all I have to do is reset this. Oh, man. We can get a reset pretty quickly here. Let's try it. Let's try to maybe just restart.
Southwest 508 at Gate Bravo.
That's really annoying. And we'll just try to, let's make sure that this sim is going to work just fine. Okay, there we go. Everything is starting up again. Let's start setting up. Probably have to restart it here. Let's start setting up. Alright, let's make sure everything is looking good here. What time? No, that's not the right time. I need to make sure it's current. And we'll go ahead and just instantly load everything. Please. And the fuel, okay, everything looks back to normal then. So we should just be fine. Let's start setting up. Let's we're just gonna do a quick
requested.
Gotta load this up real quick. Let's start setting up. Or maybe not. Man, I despise this right now. Let's go into here, and let's go into there, and come in here. Cool, should be loaded now. And we expected 19 left for departure. Radar and silver transition insert. Cool, that all looks good there. Go ahead and come into here. We set 26 left. And we'll come in doing Jackie 2, Fela. I'm not going to do any of the briefs or anything like that because that's just going to take more time. Cool. And that's good. Fuel prediction should be good. We'll just go ahead and go over here. Everything's loaded up. Send that there. We're going to do 19 left. Calculate that and send that. Cool. And that should load up the weights, hopefully. Nope. Send that, put that there. We said 9. Temperature outside is 26. Cool. That all looks good. Let's get ready for pushback again. Did they load up passengers yet? No, they're not. I set it to load them up really fast, so.
Southwest 508. Contact Las Vegas Tower 118.75.
Contact Tower 118.75, Southwest 508.
Okay.
Alaska 629. Contact Las Vegas Tower 118.75.
Passengers boarding started.
Over to Tower 118.75, Alaska 629. See you.
Good morning.
Okay. It's not very fast. Oh, got, yeah, quite a bit of people. Okay, yeah, that is really fast, so. Good.
Frontier Flight 3412.
It should be done
Contact Las Vegas
relatively
Tower
quick.
118.75.
We gotta start the APU, so hopefully by the time APU is on,
Contact
they
Tower
should be on board.
118.75. Frontier Flight 3412.
Good morning. Good morning.
Oh yeah, they're flocking in. That's funny.
Good morning.
Sweet. Okay, yeah, that'll save us some time. Just a little delay getting out. But now our fuel temperature should be working now. I love the lag. It's because it's lagging because of all the people jumping in.
IFR to Newark Liberty Airport.
United 1482, Las Vegas ground, clear to Newark Liberty Airport. Digit 2 departure.
We'll just go ahead and close the door so that way we don't have to deal with this lag.
Departure frequency 133.905. Squawk 1134.
Clear to Newark Liberty Airport. Digit 2 departure.
69 out of 125. That's perfect.
Minutes filed. Climb via SID. Departure frequency 133.905. Squawk 1134. United 1482.
United 1482, read that correct. Call me back when ready for pushback or engine start.
Roger that. United 1482. United 1482. Gate Delta 56. Request pushback.
United 1482, Las Vegas ground, pushback and engine start approved.
Cool. They're just about done.
Pushback approved. Face southwest. United 1482.
American 617, ready for airways to Dallas Fort Worth Airport. American 617, Las Vegas ground, clear to Dallas Fort Worth Airport. 9-4 departure, transition.
Cool. They're done.
Climb via SID.
Let's go ahead and reset that so we don't forget about that next time.
Squawk 2316.
Before start checklist,
To Dallas Fort Worth Airport. 9-4 departure, ski transition.
Parking brake.
Filed.
set and checked.
Climb via SID. Departure frequency 133.9.
Set and checked.
Takeoff speeds and thrusts.
Set and checked.
American 617.
V1, 1, 3, 1, VR, 1, 3, 1, V2, 1, 3, 3, flex temp, 6, 0 degrees, windows,
Closed.
beacon.
On.
617.
Let's
Before start
go.
checklist completed.
12 minutes behind now.
American 617.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Request pushback and engine start.
What's with this terrible frame rate now?
American 617, Las Vegas ground, pushback and engine start approved. Face southeast. Pushback and engine start approved. Face southeast. American 617.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Okay. Didn't set the altimeter setting.
Locking gear.
Man, this frame rate is killing me right now.
To the active.
United 1482, runway 19er left taxi for Charlie 5. Charlie, Golf, Delta, Lima.
All right. We'll taxi to runway 19er left via Charlie 5. Charlie.
Release parking brakes, please.
Lima.
Brakes
United
released.
1482.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
Starting engine 2.
Okay.
Bruh.
American 617, ready to taxi to the active. American 617, runway 19er left taxi.
I feel like it's GSX that's causing all this lag.
Runway 19er left taxi via Charlie, Golf, Delta, Lima, American 617.
American 1665, ready to copy IF for clearance to Charlotte Douglas.
Starting engine 1.
Climb via SID.
Okay.
Departure frequency 133.905.
See, now it's
Squawk
working.
5056.
Generators are online now. Temperatures are looking good. We're not. Fuel temperatures are good too. They're not burning at the temperature of the sun.
Climb via SID. Departure frequency 133.905. Squawk 5056. American 1665.
There's no way it's 12 o'clock already.
American 1665, read that correct. Call me back when ready for pushback or engine start.
Wilco, American 1665. American 1665 at gate Delta 12, request pushback.
American 1665, Las Vegas ground, pushback approved. Face southwest.
Pushback approved. Face southwest. American
Please set parking brakes.
Great, my computer's freezing now.
Legion 29er, ready to copy IF for clearance to Rogue Valley, Medford.
Unlocking gear.
Legion 29er, Las Vegas ground, clear to Rogue Valley, Medford. Joker 5 departure with the Kino transition, then is filed. Climb via SID. Departure frequency 133.905. Squawk
Let me see
1243.
something here.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
Clear to Rogue Valley, Medford.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
With the Kino transition, then is filed. Climb via SID. Departure frequency 133.905. Squawk 1243. Allegiant 29er.
Legion 29er, read that correct. Call me back when ready for pushback or engine start.
Wilco, Allegiant 29er. Allegiant 29er, Gate Alpha 19er, request pushback.
After start checklist.
Anti-ice.
There it is. Off.
Okay.
Off. Set and checked.
ECAM status.
Okay. I'm having an issue with the traffic. There it is. There's a United there coming up. Because if it's going to be loading in traffic, I want to at least see it. Okay, cool. Traffic is loaded in now. Set and checked.
Pitch trim.
And
Southwest 4270.
a little bit of a rough start this morning. Set and checked. Set and checked.
Rudder trim.
Neutral.
After start checklist completed.
Flight controls check.
Ground, clear to Magneta, San Jose. Joker
Flight controls check.
Kino transition, then is filed. Climb
Ready.
via SID. Departure frequency
Full up.
133.905.
Full down.
103.
Neutral. Full left. Full
Clear to
right.
Magneta, San Jose.
Neutral.
Joker 5
Full
departure,
left.
Kino transition, then is filed.
Full right.
Climb via SID. Departure frequency
Neutral.
133.905.
Brake check.
Squawk 110 Southwest 42.
Brake check.
Southwest 4276, read that correct. Call me back when ready for pushback or engine start.
Clear left side.
Roger that, Southwest 4276.
Pressure 0.
Southwest 4276.
Dang.
8 Charlie 2.
Clear left side.
Pushback and engine start.
I can't even request taxi.
Southwest 4276. Las Vegas ground. Pushback
Clear
and
left
engine
side.
start approved. Face southeast. Pushback and engine
Pressure
start
0.
approved. Face
Clear right
southeast.
side.
Southwest 4276.
Frontier Flight 2231, ready to taxi to the active.
Ready. Clear right side.
Frontier Flight 2231, runway 19 left taxi via Charlie, Golf, Delta, Lima.
Runway 19 left taxi via Charlie, Golf, Delta, Lima. Frontier Flight 2231.
Taxi checklist.
Flight controls.
Checked.
Checked. Flap setting.
Config 1 plus F.
Config 1 plus F. Radar and predictive wind shear system.
On and auto.
Engine mode selector.
Normal.
ECAM memo.
Takeoff no blue.
Taxi checklist completed.
Thank gosh, we are finally leaving. I thought I had to restart the sim. If I had to restart the sim, it would have been game over. I would not have done the flight. But we're good now. Let me double check that is tracking my flight. It is. Cool.
Request taxi. Southwest 4276, runway 19 left taxi via Charlie, Golf, Delta, Lima. Runway 19 left taxi via Charlie, Golf, Delta, Lima, Southwest 4276.
Frame rate's a little better. Remember, max taxi speed is 30 knots. We don't want to get hit with the fine. Hola, Daniel. If you're just tuning in, Air Malta career is now over. We've been hired with Frontier, and yeah, that's what we're doing today. Doing a short hop over to Ontario from Las Vegas here, and this will be my home airline for a little bit as I work my way up to possibly American or Delta or either United. And Frontier hired me with almost double the pay from Air Malta, so so yeah, pretty good.
Gate Alpha 155 Yankee, Echo Whiskey. Hold short runway 19 left.
I think we did everything we could have done with Air Malta. I mean, there's some other destinations we could have flown to, like Madrid and stuff like that, but at least we flew to Rome and Catania. So, at least we got something in.
Southwest 3193, Las Vegas ground, clear to Reno Tahoe. Joker 5 departure, Kino transition, then is filed. Climb via Sid. Departure
Pretty much trying to follow that southwest all the way to the runway.
164.
Clear to Reno Tahoe. Joker 5 departure, Kino transition, then is filed. Climb via Sid. Departure frequency 33905. Squawk 3164. Southwest 3193.
I'm a little nervous coming back to Las Vegas though, because the performance here is pretty bad.
Call me back when ready for pushback or engine start.
Roger that, Southwest 3193.
Spirit Wings 268, cross runway 19 left at Whiskey. Continue taxi via Whiskey, Zulu, Golf 2.
It just looks hot. Looking outside, you got the mountains in the background.
Taxi via Whiskey, Zulu.
That blue sky just looks really hot. It's 26 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit,
All aircraft be advised information Whiskey now
but I know it's hot.
altimeter 2974.
Southwest 3193. Gate 1. Request pushback and engine start. IF or to John Wayne, Orange County.
Southwest 1400, Las Vegas ground, clear to John Wayne, Orange County. Radar 2 departure with the SLVR transition, then is filed. Climb via SID. Departure frequency 133.9 or 5. Squawk 3422.
Cleared to John Wayne, Orange County. Radar 2 departure with the SLVRR transition, then is filed. Climb via SID. Departure frequency 133.9 or 5. Squawk tree 422. Southwest 1400.
Southwest 1400, read that correct. Call me back when ready for pushback or engine start.
Roger that. Southwest 1400. Southwest 1400, Gate Bravo 9,
Beautiful.
request pushback and engine start.
Southwest 1400, Las Vegas ground, pushback approved. Face southeast.
Pushback approved, face southeast, Southwest 1400. Southwest 3193, taxi for departure.
Southwest 4276, contact Las Vegas Tower 118.75. Contact Tower 118.75, Southwest 4276. Southwest 1218, 8 Charlie 2 taxi via Yankee Echo. Hold short runway 8 left. 8 Charlie 2 via Yankee Echo. Hold short runway 8 left, Southwest 1218. Southwest 3193, runway 19er left taxi via Charlie, Golf Delta Lima.
Ready?
Runway 19er left taxi via Charlie, Golf, Delta, Lima.
Flight attendant cease for takeoff, please.
193.
Ready?
Ready.
Okay, cool.
Ready.
Frontier Flight 2231, contact Las Vegas Tower 118.75.
Over to Tower 118.75, Frontier Flight 2231.
Tower Frontier Flight 2231, holding short runway 19 left, ready for departure.
Frontier Flight 2231. Hold short of 19 left.
Roger. Hold short of 19er left. Frontier Flight 2231.
Okay. Line up checklist.
Frontier Flight 2231.
Takeoff runway.
19 left. Line up and wait.
Line up and wait. Runway 19er left. Frontier Flight 2231.
Runway 19 left confirmed. Set and checked.
Runway 26 right. Confirmed.
Okay.
TCAS.
Wrong one, right? DARA? Nope, it's not.
Takeoff runway confirmed.
Flight 2231.
Approach path clear of traffic.
Wind 210 at 14. Gust 27. Fly runway heading. Runway 19 left. Cleared for takeoff.
Okay.
Fly runway heading.
Approaching.
19er left.
One.
Cleared for takeoff.
9
Frontier Flight
left.
2231.
DARA?
Sun Country 10.
Set and checked.
Exit left at Yankee.
Set and checked.
Exit left at Yankee.
Jesus.
Sun Country 101.
He's busy pushing buttons.
Southwest 4276. Contact Las Vegas departure.
Contact Las Vegas departure, Southwest 4276.
Set and checked.
Packs 1 and 2.
On.
Lineup checklist completed.
Man,
On runway.
this
1
airport sucks,
9
dude.
left.
Take off. take off.
Country 101. Monitor ground.
Take off.
1.1.
Oh my god. Okay.
Check.
And flex 60 degrees, SRS, auto throttle blue.
Check. Checked. Thrust set.
This is terrible performance right
100
now.
knots. V1. Rotate. Positive climb.
Gear up. Gear up. Hello. Thank you.
Gear up. Gear up.
Contact Las Vegas departure. Frontier Flight 2231. Good morning. Las Vegas departure. Frontier Flight 2231. Climbing via Radar 2. 3,600.
Frontier Flight
Let's climb.
231. Las Vegas departure. Good morning. Radar contact. Cleared direct zero. Resume the Radar 2.
Clear direct through. Resume the Radar 2. Frontier Flight 2231.
Yeah, that's what it was. I gotta be more nice to him, I think. Flaps 0.
Speed checked. Flaps 0.
Thank you.
$1,000 to go.
Okay, let's continue climbing.
Southwest 4276. Contact Los Angeles Center 124.625. Contact Los Angeles Center 124.625. Southwest 4276. Las Vegas departure. Southwest 1400. Climbing via Radar 2. 3,200 feet. Southwest 1400. Las Vegas departure. Good morning. Radar contact. Cleared direct zero. Resume the Radar 2. Cleared direct zero. Resume the Radar 2. Southwest 1400.
With the big mountains over there. So, little context. So Vegas was actually where I I officially became girlfriend with me Diana. I remember, I think, was it this road right here?
1,000 to go.
It might be a different road. I don't know. But yeah, that was where I met up with her, and when I was in the military, and we became official when I visited her that day. And I remember driving down this really long road. I don't think many people know this story. Those that went to my wedding definitely know this story. What altitude am I cleared to, man? What? We can go flight level 190 is the top altitude. But yeah, she was visiting Las Vegas and I was in California. 6.5 hour drive, and I couldn't. It was a weekend. She was coming over. She was visiting with a couple of like her friend or whatever, and what was it? Yeah, so we were doing field training in the military, and I was busy pretty much. I was expected to be busy that weekend. So what happened? Oh, I'm trying to recap what happened. Honestly, it's been a little while. Okay, yeah. So what happened was that she and the friend was gonna come down to California, and I was gonna go. We were gonna go drive around and go sightseeing San Diego and everything. But what happened was I was gonna do field training, and I wasn't able to, host them down in California. And so she and the friend stayed in Las Vegas, and they were, over there. And it was a Friday that I got off of work. It was like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and she said that she was gonna leave Saturday. No, was it? She was gonna leave that Friday night. She was gonna leave that Friday night, and we're fairly new into our relationship. Like, we weren't even official at that point, but I loved her to death, and I really wanted to go see her. And this was like my only opportunity that I had to see her before I go back home on leave in Florida. Hold on. 240.
Maintain flight level 240, Frontier Flight 2231.
Okay. So yeah, I knew that I had to go visit her because I didn't know when the next time I was going to see her. So that Friday, when I got off of work at 4 o'clock, I
cross-checked.
Got in my truck. I didn't pack anything pretty much. I just grabbed maybe like a change of clothes because I knew I wasn't going to drive back.
Now.
I got in my truck and I drove out to see her, which was like I said, a 6.5 hour drive, and it was just like mid-rush hour, so like it was busy. I drove off of base, and as I drove off of base, I realized that I forgot my wallet. So I don't even know. I think the guy just like saw my truck earlier and just like let me come back in. But yeah, I drove off of base without my wallet, which had my ID, my driver's license, all that stuff. So no good. Wasted like 30 minutes trying to get my wallet back, and then I drove out again, and I hit some bad traffic, like 2 or 3 hour traffic, and it was super late. I think her flight left at like 11:30 with Frontier, and I managed to get to Las Vegas at like 11. No, it was like 10:45, 10:30 to 10:45. I drove those 6.5 hours just to see her for like 40 minutes. And yeah, she absolutely loved that gesture. She says that was the key moment in our relationship because she saw the effort that I made just to go see her for 30-40 minutes, and she fell in love with that. And yeah, everything else from there was history. It was a really nice time though. We didn't really have much time, so we kind of just like walked around the hotel, and then like after we walked around the hotel, I had to drop her off at the airport. So it wasn't much, but thankfully, because since she had the hotel there, I was able to just spend the night at the hotel that she already paid.
1,000 to
And
go.
I woke up the next morning and had some breakfast by the fake Eiffel Tower over there. Had myself an eggs Benedict. I think the restaurant was right in front of the that big fountain that they have over there. I don't even know what it's called. In front of Caesar's Palace or something like that. But yeah, had some really good eggs Benedict over there. Some good orange juice, and then walked around, and then I drove back to base. Oh. Okay. So yeah, when you're in love, you do some crazy things. Drove 6.5 hours just to see her for 40 minutes, and then drove 6 hours back. And the thing is with, well, your brother's in the military, you kind of get a firm, maybe a decent understanding of it, but like when you're in the military on a weekend, you aren't allowed to be a certain miles away from base. I think you can't be more than 2 hours away from base. So I was breaking a rule. I broke the rule there, but it was worth it. I didn't get invited to your wedding. I'm sorry. I have to go back in time. I'll send you an invitation from the I'll give Marty McFly the invitation and send it to you. Oh, here comes Cooper. Alright, it's a short flight, literally like 30 minutes of flying time. So let's go ahead and start planning out our arrival. .7 plus 123.2, so that's 132.2 plus 7, 132.9. And they have 10,000 foot runway. And we do want to get off relatively quick, because the runway, I guess it don't matter that much, but we can try to get off of Quebec and be a shorter taxi. Get these people to their gate on time.
Increase speed to 280 knots. Frontier flight 2231.
Okay, 280. Yeah, I knew her back in Florida. So that pretty much that weekend that I saw her in Vegas, it was like I think that was like in the end of January, and I met her the December prior. Well, we started talking like the December prior to that. We met in Florida. I asked her out. We went to we got food. We did like a kind of like a double date with another couple, and got some food, and we talked, and then she enjoyed the time. And that same night, I think she asked me to do a second date, which we ended up the next day going to I don't know if you know Top Golf. It's like kind of like a golfing thing where you can just hit balls as hard as you can. So we did that, and we talked literally the entire time I was down in Florida for my leave period, and yeah. Yeah, and then I went to my training pretty much. I went back to I went back to my base after New Year's, and then that's that at the end of January. That's when she flew down and she visited the Grand Canyon in Las Vegas, and that's when I went to go see her.
Descend via Jackie 2.
And I was always in and out of training all the time.
Altimeter 2994. Frontier flight 2031.
Hopefully Ontario's not going to be too bad with the performance there. Oh, 1.35. Approach checklist. I don't even
Barrow
know.
ref.
Set and checked. Set and checked.
2992. Set. Minimum. Minimum.
Set and checked.
Auto brake.
Set and checked.
Engine mode selector.
Normal.
Approach checklist completed.
Alright, our bottom altitude is 10,000. There's like some clouds over there where we're going. Which might be some reduced visibility. It does say 9 statute miles on the visibility, so it is kind of reducing just a bit. Not too bad though. Been IFR today here in Lynchburg. I was supposed to do my last flight today. Tomorrow is probably not going to happen either. So, not looking forward to that. So, I will be delaying my flight to Puerto Rico. I'm going to be dropping Mediana off in Atlanta tomorrow. I'll be dropping her off at, no, not tomorrow, the 14th. And then I'll make my way back the same day. Be a long day of driving. However, it is what it is. I'm going to save, the reason why I'm doing that, because I had the option of either sending her to Washington and she could take a flight direct to Atlanta. But then, I was thinking like, okay, if I want to go to Puerto Rico too, I'm going to need to save some money somewhere. And since I'm not going to be flying on the 14th at all, I figured let me just take her to Atlanta that day. And I can save that money, use it for my flight to Puerto Rico. And then it looks like possibly the 15th on Thursday. It might have, there's a possibility of an opening of me doing my flight on that day. It looks like around 2 p.m. the clouds and the visibility should all burn off and it should be clear skies the rest of the night. So my hopes, if Lord is willing, to allow me to do the flight on the 15th around 2 p.m. It's about an hour flight, 2 hours in total, pretty much. And then from there, just say for example, I get there at 2 o'clock. I don't usually take off till like 30 minutes, 40 minutes afterwards to include the pre-flight and stuff. So let's round it up to 3 o'clock. Takes me 2 hours, come back around 5 p.m., debrief, and then I can leave around 6 p.m. to my cousin's house who lives nearby Baltimore, where I found a flight that's like pretty relatively cheap direct flight to San Juan. And I think hopefully that should be the good plan that I'm gonna do. Yeah, it is gonna rain all week. It's it's a really a bummer because everything was depending on this one last flight for me. So, but like I said, this is I have no reason to complain. These are first world problems. I'm gonna try not to complain because I'm blessed enough to be able to go on a trip to Puerto Rico. So, if the Lord wanted me to stay a couple more days, and I was actually talking to Liana about this, Daniel. Remember how on Thursday I was praying for God's will to be done, not my will. You know, I want to be more God focused and not myself focused. And it just so happened that I got put to the test. When you ask God for a prayer request, He will probably, you see, if you ask God for patience, He's going to put you in a situation to train your patience. And if you ask God for faith, He's going to put you in a position where He's going to test your faith. At least that's how I think of it. And I asked God to allow me to be less selfish and you know, not think about myself all the time. And when this issue happened with the weather and my flight being canceled and delaying my trip to Puerto Rico, I started to think about myself a lot. I was angry. I was upset that things weren't going my way.
2, 9.
Then I realized
7, 4. Set. Passing 17,400.
Once he stops yapping.
Now.
Yeah, so once I realized that, I was like, oh, this is the situation that I prayed for. I wanted it to be more focused on God than on me. And I started to realize that I was starting to become angry because of the weather delaying my plans, and that's not how it should be. So God's will was for me to stay a couple more days and finish out my flight training. I had to be content with that. I had to understand it. I had to lean on His understanding, and I had to be okay with that. God is good. I know that. I don't know why the weather sucked and causes me to delay my flight training and cancel this flight, but I do know that God is good. I'm certain about that, and if His will is that, then I know it's a good and perfect will. So that's what I'm kind of trying to focus on, lean on that a little bit. Yeah, I was kind of in a spiritual battle with myself the other day, just because of that same reason. I was upset, man. It was like I had this one flight, and I had today, tomorrow, and the morning of Wednesday to do this flight. And I was upset because it's like the weather is literally canceling the flight for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And I was like, what are the odds of that happening? So, once I started to have that revelation that I'm thinking about myself here, then that's when it clicked. And I've been having a little bit more peace with this decision. It's frustrating because I had to spend extra money to pay for this ticket and all this stuff. The ticket I bought with Spirit is pretty much garbage because I'm not going to go on it, so I just paid for a seat on Spirit for no reason. But I know God is the Lord of my finances, and hopefully I'm making the right decision of going a little later. I don't know, but I do know that the Lord wants me to trust in Him and to not be selfish with the way, try to be in charge of my own life here. So Cease striving and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations, and I will be exalted in the earth. Amen. Exactly. I need to stop striving to be in control and know that He is God, that He is in control. So, the God of the same Jesus that calmed the storms on the boat with the disciples is the same Jesus today and tomorrow. So if He wants to calm the storms, He can. If He wants to leave them as they are, then He can as well. So who am I? Who am I to tell what God should do? Ladies and gentlemen, you may have noticed we have begun our descent into Ontario. We're looking at getting there around 16:52, so in the next 10 minutes or so. You may notice the seatbelt signs are turned on. We are going to expect a little bit of turbulence, and we'll be on the ground here shortly. Flight attendants, please prepare the cabin for arrival. You can see the turbulence right now from those mountain waves. We're 1 minute past our landing window. I wonder if we can just do this real quick.
$1,000 to go.
Frontier Flight 2231, leave rumble heading 215, expect radar vectors for visual approach runway 26 left.
Leave rumble heading 215. Expect radar vectors for visual approach runway 26 left. Frontier Flight 2231.
Frontier Flight 2231, turn right, heading 215, intercept the 26 left localizer, vectors for the approach.
Turn right, heading 215. Intercept the 26 left localizer. Frontier Flight 2231.
Frontier Flight 2231, descend and maintain 3,400.
Okay, let's turn on that terrain because I see
3,400. Frontier Flight 2231.
do see some mountains down there. I don't want to run into them here. Quite bumpy up here with those mountains. All those winds being pushed up. Clouds are pretty low too. Alright, rule of thumb, if the horizon of that mountain ledge there is going below the nose, then we are good. Actually, what's the rule of thumb here? I think if it's not moving, then it's going to go below your nose. But if it's moving below you, then it's going to go below your nose. Yeah, that turbulence is pretty nasty
Radar
right now.
altimeter alive.
Looks like some sort of resort up here, like a ski lodge. Let's try to slow down that descent right here. It looks like we're getting some downdrafts. Start to slow down here. Landing lights on. Thanks. Flaps 1.
Speed checked. Flaps 1.
Flight attendants, please be seated for landing. Flaps 2.
Speed checked. Flaps 2. $1,000 to go.
Okay. Just go ahead and arm that localizer. So we're about to blow through that heading. And we can probably go down to 3,000 here.
2,500.
Checked.
Frontier Flight 2231. Airport is at your 1 o'clock 10 miles. Report the field in sight.
No, it's way too foggy.
Field in sight. Frontier Flight
I'm just gonna arm the localizer and follow it in.
Frontier Flight 2231. Clear visual approach runway 26 left.
Clear visual approach 26
Flaps 3.
Frontier Flight 2231.
Speed checked. Flaps 3.
Glide slope armed. Lock
Frontier
star.
Flight 2231. Contact Ontario Tower
There it is.
120.6.
Contact Tower 120.6.
Flaps full.
Frontier Flight 2231.
Speed checked.
See you.
Flaps full.
Glide slope star.
Ontario Tower. Frontier Flight 2231. Visual runway 26 left.
Gear down.
Gear down.
Frontier Flight 2231. Ontario Tower. Wind 240 at 5. Runway 26 left clear to land.
26 left, clear to land. Frontier Flight 2231.
Those mountains are pretty wild. Landing checklist.
ECAM memo.
Landing no blue.
Landing checklist completed.
Alright, glide slope is captured.
$1,000.
Checked. I have control.
You have control.
We don't know how it's going to be with the frame rate, so we'll just kind of leave the autopilot off for right now.
Approaching. 26 left.
So far, it seems pretty smooth. Knock on wood. Alright, let's turn off the autopilot. Checked. Continue.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, retard. 5.
Spoilers. Reverse green. Decel. $70 knots.
Checked. Reversers came out some little late there. Kilo.
Exit right at Kilo. Frontier Flight 2231.
Okay.
Frontier Flight 2231, contact ground 121.9er.
Ground 121.9er, Frontier Flight 2231.
Okay, let's see here. Gotta see what gate we're gonna go to. I don't know what gates they use here. I think they're gonna use either 2 or 3 for the terminal. Looks like they use 211 on the real flight, so we'll go ahead and request that. Trying to find the gate is so annoying sometimes. 211. No. And sure, give me just a random one, I don't care. And then we're gonna go request.
Frontier Flight 2231. Request taxi to the gate.
Should be Kilo November.
Frontier Flight 2231, welcome to Ontario. Say parking or drive is under assignment.
Request gate 211. Frontier Flight 2231.
Frontier Flight 2231, gate 211 taxi via Kilo. Hold short runway 26 right.
Yeah, we're holding short already, man.
A211 via Kilo. Hold short runway 26 right. Frontier flight 2231.
Just letting know we're holding short.
Frontier flight 2231. Waiting to cross 26 right.
Frontier flight 2231. Cross runway 26 right at Kilo. Continue taxi 5 Kilo, November, Romeo, November 1.
Cross runway 26 right at Kilo. Continue taxi via Kilo, November, Romeo, November 1. Frontier flight 2231. Hawaiian 79er, gate 402. Request pushback and engine start.
After landing checklist.
Hawaiian 79er, Ontario ground, pushback approved. Face east.
Radar and predictive wind shear system.
Off.
Pushback approved.
After landing checklist completed.
Okay, we're supposed to be the gate at 16:55. It is 56, so we're like 4 or 5 minutes delayed here. It's not bad considering that we were like 14, 15 minutes delayed in Las Vegas. Don't go past 30 knots. I just did. They're gonna fine me for that. I'm gonna get negative points for that. No. Alright, we're gonna look for Romeo. This is Quebec. Oh no, it's Papa. Huh. Coast here. I don't want to go too far over 30 knots here. We went 31, so I'm probably gonna get negative points for that. Don't want to repeat. Alright, here's Romeo. It looks like we're the only plane here at the terminal.
Request taxi to the active.
Hawaiian. It's a Hawaiian A321.
Hawaiian 79er, runway 26 right, taxi via uniform, November 1, whiskey.
Runway 26 right, taxi via uniform. November 1, whiskey, Hawaiian 79er.
That mountain is really nice. It's kind of wild with the clouds and everything. Wasn't expecting the weather to be like this. Taxi light off. Alright, parking brake set. APU bleed is on. Turn off them engines.
Contact Tower 120.6, Hawaiian 79er.
It is currently, we are 4 minutes delayed, so. Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, we'd like to welcome you to Ontario. We apologize for the short delay getting you here. Current time is 16:59 Zulu. If you do need any assistance or for any inconvenience for our delay, please do not hesitate to ask. Again, on behalf of Frontier and our flight crew, we thank you for flying with us today. Flight attendants, the aircraft is secured. You are free to commence deboarding. Parking checklist.
Parking brake or chocks.
Set and checked.
Engines.
Abort
Off.
requested.
Wing lights.
Off.
Fuel pumps.
He's gonna do it right now, I bet. Yep. Off.
Parking checklist completed.
Alright. Let's go see how he did. And we'll be on our way here. Let's see, they just got the jetway connecting again. Cool. Let's take a look outside first. Should have some pretty good views. Check out this airport too. Alright, there's our airplane, Pike the Otter, A320. And they're starting to board passengers. It is loud out here. Oh, the airport doesn't look too bad actually. Hawaiian A330, it looks like, taking off. Sorry for the loud noises here. That doesn't look too bad, this airport, to be honest. Nice interior modeled. I like the windows. I like that you can actually look outside. You can see, looks like some weather channel. Cool. Let's go inside the airplane while we look at the score. Yeah, first flight with Frontier. Pretty good stuff. Felt like the landing was good. I felt like it was too smooth. Like I didn't even feel like the wheels touch. So that was a little concerning, especially as we're getting close to the end of the touchdown zone. But let's go ahead and review this flight. So, flight report. We're gonna get negative points for the taxi. Yes. Oh, landing lights on below 10,000. Yep, that was my bad too. The first officer forgot to do that. Approach less than 200 knots. What do you mean? Okay, well, I guess I got negative for that. And then I'm surprised I didn't get the knockdown for going above 30 knots, because I went 31 knots on the taxi. Alright, score, we got a 97. And our XP was 77. It was a short flight, so that's understandable. 38 minutes flight time, block time 53 minutes. The reason why we didn't feel the wheels touch is we got a negative 92 on the landing rate. That's like super duper smooth. A little bit off the center line. I felt like I got blown off a little bit. We got runway 26 and the winds are 24, so it was coming a bit from the left there. I got blown off. I could have probably put a little bit more left aileron into it, but we were still well within the center line, no more than half the width of the runway from it. And in the touchdown zone, smooth landing, pretty good stuff there. 92 is pretty crazy. And then a short braking action there. We got off of Kilo there. But yeah, we used up quite a bit of runway there. No worries. Oh, cool. Let's go ahead and submit that. And then our next flight is back to Las Vegas, which we'll do hopefully another time here. Probably maybe tomorrow, because I'll probably be here at home the entire day. And then, yeah, so tomorrow we'll go do Ontario to Las Vegas. And the rest of the schedule looks like this. I think I maybe already talked about it. The next flight will be after Las Vegas will be Phoenix to Dallas, and then we'll be doing Miami to Baltimore, and then Phoenix to Denver, and then Philadelphia to Tampa. That's all pretty fun stuff there. Let's look at our dashboard. We did get paid today. Let's see how much we got paid. Hey, we have $448, not bad. I got paid from this last week, $86. Nice. And of course that's gonna jump up now that we got that pay bump to 42 hours. Oof. And yeah, there's my application accepted into Frontier. It looks like Saturday there's an event, but I won't be here for that. They pay $450. Jeez, that's a fat pay right there. It's a flight from, I think that's Singapore to Tokyo. It looks like a long flight. It's on the 787. Yeah, it's a pretty long flight. That's why it pays so much. But it's 200% XP on it. Oof. It's a pretty good one. Sunday weekly. Looks like every Sunday maybe. They have a 200% bonus, $500 pay. And this is on the 18th. I won't be here for that, unfortunately. That'd be fun, dude. The ATR. I haven't flown the ATR in a while. I think I suck at flying it, but it's pretty fun to fly, I think. Brakes are smoking right now. I definitely were stepping on them today. I feel bad for the next crew over, but anyways, we'll turn that brake fan on. Yeah, $500 for this would be insane too. It's only 235 nautical miles, but I won't be here for that day, unfortunately. That would be a good one to do. All right. Current level is calculated based on your total XP points. Your current rating is calculated as an average of your score. The last 10 flights average score plus all flights average score divided by 2. Okay, yeah, it's not bad. I got a 98%. Obviously, we're still fairly new, but I think if we keep that track of that trend of getting no less than 90% on our ratings, then we should be able to do a pretty good job keeping that rank up. And then we're still junior first officer. In order to get first officer, we need 2,000 XP, but right now we're at 689, which is not bad. We're still making pretty decent progress. I think that event helped us quite a bit to jump forward. We just got to keep knocking them out, but now that we're with Frontier, we're definitely going to knock them out more. Hopefully on the freer days I can get a longer flight. Actually, I want to see my company here. Yeah, they have quite a bit of flights. Right now we're on the West Coast, but they have flights down to San Jose de Cabos International, Puerto Vallarta, Guatemala, San Salvador, San Jose, Costa Rica. I think I've done that one before too. Ooh, this one would be cool. Trinidad, Tobago, Bridgetown, Barbados. And then you go, of course, you got all the Caribbean islands. We got Aguadilla. I've done that flight in real life before too. Aguadilla to Tampa. Ponce is a really fun one too. San Juan, St. Thomas, St. Croix. This is St. Martin. Ooh, that's a really fun one too. Santo de los Caballeros, Santo Domingo. Of course, we got Jamaica, Montego Bay. What is this one? Oh, Cancun, of course. Duh. And then you got all the American bases, pretty much. You got Memphis. We got what is that? Benton, Northwest Arkansas. Huh. That'll be an interesting one to do. Up north, we got Minnesota. Fargo Hector International Airport. That'd be an interesting one to do. Sioux Falls, Indianapolis, Montreal. Oh, that's not Montreal. That's Burlington International. Portland, Syracuse, Cleveland. What was over here? We got Seattle, Portland again. Very cool. Well, there's a lot of options here to fly, so looking forward to that. Let's see where we are in the leaderboard. We are 735. So we only got hired not too long ago. That explains why we're on the bottom of the list here. This guy's only done one flight. He's only done one flight, and he's got 3 hours and 12 minutes. And he has an XP of 58. That must have mean that his flight that he did must have sucked. Look at this. I think we already talked about this. Senior Captain L4, 12,118 hours, or XP, 244 hours. That's wild. Alright, well, thanks for joining me today on this short flight. Happy to start my new adventure with Frontier. There's one guy who refuses to get off the airplane. There he goes. Alright, so we'll see you around next time. Bye.